I know I said that Bowser was going to be our last review, but I'm sorry, I'm excited for the movie, and they had more, and different, and smaller, and even though the sticker promises me that I got a discount, I still feel like I might have spent a bit too much. From Jakks Pacific and their Super Mario Bros. Movie toy line, this is from their micro collection, including their Koopa Parakoopa and Kamek. And quite frankly, I think this is the only movie figure we're getting a Kamek, despite the fact that he's seemingly set up to be Bowser's right-hand man. And I want to talk about this Parakoopa, right? He's on the poster, he's been in all the commercials. In some of the commercials, he's shown, like, being serious when the other, like, Koopa Troopers are cowering. I almost wonder if he's going to be a character. Like, if he's going to be, you know, just like a top henchman or something. Maybe not even have lines, just kind of be in the background. Because he's in a lot of the marketing materials. It's very weird. Also, there are cute additions to these boxes. My favorite thing has to be the fact that they have the official Nintendo licensed product from the NES. That's a neat little touch. I like that. That's very cute. And it helps that also these are two characters you can get in the 5-inch line, because you can get a Toad, you can get a Luigi, you can get a Mario, you can get a Peach in this scale. But for these two, these are your only options, unless maybe they make plushies or a second wave of the 5-inch figures. And alongside all that, there are a lot of cool playsets that go with these figures. You have a huge castle playset that I've seen. You have the Mario Brothers van, which looks amazing. I just don't think I had the space for it necessarily. But yeah, I think there's a lot of cool little gimmicks to these guys. Let's go ahead and crack them open and see what we might think. Out of the box, these guys are so small. If I had to guess, they're probably 1.5 inches tall. Maybe at the top of their hats and wings they get up to 2 inches. But definitely micro figures. And Jakks Pacific actually had a really cool Mario video game toy land called, I think it was Mario Microlands, where the whole idea was you would buy figures about this size and pieces of levels, and then you could make your own sprawling Mushroom Kingdom once you got enough sets. It was one of my favorite lines for Mario ever, and unfortunately it didn't do too well at retail, but this is a cool kind of return to that style. Also, it's really hard to stand Parakoopa up. I kind of feel like we have to start with Kamek between these two, just because, you know, Kamek probably outranks the Parakoopa. And simple sculpt, but a lot of decent paintwork. Like, there's a little bit of overspray on the cap, but not much. Great paint on the scepter, good paint on the glasses, very solid sculpt all around. Jakks really does do small figures incredibly well. Better than even companies like Hasbro do, I think. And as you can see, we do have some points of articulation, just 3, but you get up and down at the arms and side to side of the head. So, that won't break the bank, but it's nice to have some posability. Then we open up the mystery box, and I'm not too sure if they all have the same background. I think that's very possible. But we have just like a little shot of the Mushroom Kingdom. Put Kamek right there. Give him maybe a magic pose, like something like that maybe. That looks decent. I like that. Like I said, if you get the castle or you get the van, you have a huge playset to work with. This really is just a background, but it does work. And I also don't think there's a way to attach these in any way. That could have been interesting if you could have done that. But once again, I think you're kind of nitpicking at that point. Going to the Parakoopa next, and I think he's a little bit rougher. There's a really unsightly seam line right where his eyes meet his head, but that's fine. The sculpt and detail is really solid, great paintwork. I love how they got those little shots of silver on his shoulder pads. That said, because of his spear, he is very unbalanced, so he's kind of hard to get stood up. Unfortunately, also, his wings don't take much to fall out, and these are small wings, so they would be very easy to lose. So, definitely not as secure as Kamek, but this is the only figure we have of this new design for the Parakoopa. Once again, assuming this isn't like a specific character like I think it might be, assuming that this is just what the Parakoopas are going to look like in the movie, I really like the redesign. Koopa Troopas / Parakoopas are some of my favorite Mario designs, period. They're my absolute favorite thing to play in Mario Kart. But I do like that they've added the shoulder pads and the helmet just to give a little bit more diversity to their designs beside the wings. Opening the block up. Oh, and, well, everything's just falling apart. Yeah, it's the same background again. So, I feel like they all... Wait a minute. That's not the same background. So, we'll bring Kamek back in. Those are... Yeah, those almost look like they're supposed to be paired right next to each other. Which I don't think there's a way to actually do that unless you went like that. Yeah, okay. So, not a plug-in, but they at least can kind of go on top of each other and not have too much issues. So, just put Kamek there. Yeah, these things really just hold themselves up by friction. It's not the tightest thing in the world, but, you know, it works. And, of course, Parakoopa is still having issues standing. And there goes a wing. Oh, no. You know, I was going to give these guys, like, glowing praise. Parakoopa's starting to sour me just a bit. There we go. So, yeah, overall, if you can get these guys like I did, for $5, $6, right? I think they're really worth it. I think they're cute. I think they're fun. You get a little, like, big mystery box that you can play with. It's a great little storage container. If you had more of these figures or the play sets, I could see them being worth it there. $8 seems too much. I would not say these guys are worth $8. But $5, $6, absolutely. I think you get a great little minifigure. You get a cute little accessory box, basically. And you have a way to, like, start a small but still fun collection of Mario characters. So, yeah, overall, decent. Like them. I'm probably not going to get any more of these. I just got these two because they're bad guys. And kind of like everything else, I'll buy almost anything if it's a bad guy. But I only kind of need the bare essentials when it comes to the good guys.